duplicate this angle BAC. When you duplicate an angle, and I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, I'll kind of I'll pinch this to zoom out a little. All right. So if I want to duplicate this angle, the first thing I need to do is start with a side. Okay, so since it's an angle, I'm going to use raise here. So I'm going to start with one side of my angle. So point D is going to be my vertex. What I then want to do is I want to construct a circle through or from center A through one of the points on my angle. So I'm going to pass it through point C. So what I need to do is I need to designate this segment CA as a radius. Well, if I try to do that right now, so if I click on here, notice nothing happens because I don't have a segment AC. It's just a line or a ray here. So I need to go in and create this segment from A to C. And now I can go into my compass tool and select that segment. So now my compass is set to a radius of AC. Again, I can confirm that here. Not only do I want to confirm it, but I want to actually put it on that original angle. So if I draw my arc through point C on that original angle, I'm then going to duplicate that on that same exact circle onto my construction. Okay, so I'm going to select my radius AC. Notice again it pulls up my circle. So this is again a circle with radius AC. And I'm going to place that on one of my endpoints. I can do it on either one. I'm going to go ahead and place it on D here. I'm just going to move these a little bit out of the way so you can see how things match up. Okay, so now I have my circle D is the same radius as my circle A, correct? All right. The next step is I need to measure this distance between these two arc side intersections. Okay, so I have point C. Point C corresponds with this point right here. Okay, what I need to do is I need to create a new point up here and measure that distance. Okay, so if I go to my point tool, okay, and I place a point right here at this intersection, and then I measure the distance so that I can create a segment between F and C. And the reason I want to create that segment is I'm interested in finding this circle from point C with the radius CF. So if I select my radius CF and I place that directly on point C, so this circle C right here, I want to duplicate at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and label my point. So this is point G. And I'm going to duplicate circle C onto point G. And the way I can do that is I identify the radius, FC. And then I'm going to place that right here on circle G. And once I do that, this intersection right here of my two circles, my circle D and my circle G, mimics this point F. So if I pass a line, or in this case a ray, from point D through this intersection right here, that creates my duplicated angle. Okay, and I can measure this to verify. So if I measure this angle, remember angles are measured in or rotated in a counterclockwise rotation, just like the counting of the quadrants, okay, counterclockwise. If I were to measure this angle as FAC, notice what it does. Counterclockwise puts it this way. So it's measuring that reflex angle. Okay, so what I want is I want it to be CAF. So here's that angle, and I can double check it. Is it the same as this angle here? GDH, and they should be the same. Okay, and even if you change what A, B, and C are, the new angle HDE should be the exact same measure as that. And you can see that it stays locked together. All right. So I'm going to erase this, undo all these. Okay. Let me talk through this here one more time. All right. So when you are duplicating this angle, the first thing you want to do is draw one of the sides. So this time I'm going to open my angle in the other direction. It doesn't matter which, it doesn't have to be oriented the same way. So point D is going to be my vertex again. What I want to do is I want to pass a circle through one of the points, either or a circle A through point B or through point C. Doesn't matter which one, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and pass it through B this time. Okay, so I first need to create a segment that has that radius, just because that's kind of how I'm setting up my compass setting here. So once I create my segment AB, I can go to my compass tool, select my radius. So now I have my radius set to the distance AB. I'm going to put that directly on my circle, or on center A. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to repeat those steps, select the distance AB. But this time I'm going to place it on my new vertex. My new vertex is point D. Okay, so now point D, or circle D and circle A, are congruent circles. Okay, so that means that this point right here corresponds directly with point B. So I'm going to label these different here. So now point F and point B correspond to each other. So what I need to do is I need to find the distance from B to this intersection right here. If I find that distance BG and I duplicate it over here, I will have duplicated my angle. So, to do that, I'm going to find this segment BG. And then from point F, I'm going to create a circle with the same radius as this. So if I take this circle B with a radius BG from point G, okay, and I find that distance here, I'm going to duplicate that and place it on point F. So now circle F and circle G are congruent circles. And so all I need to do to complete this is to pass a ray from point D through this intersection here. And when I do, I've finished my figure. Okay, so now if I measure these to verify, angle CAB is 36.12. And again, I have to go in counterclockwise rotation, so I have to start up here, HDF, also 36.12. And if I change these, their measures stay exactly the same, which indicates to me that I've set them up correctly.